Yo, yo, yo. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite 420 podcast. This is your main host, Chino. And yeah, ladies and gents, we are back here in the home studio. It's been a couple episodes that we haven't been in the home studio, but we're in the home studio already. And it feels great to be here in the home studio. Today's special guest we got is Mike from Corner Boys. So again, ladies and gents, this is Mike from Corner Boys. So how's it going, my guy? Again, welcome to the show.
What's good? What's good, man? It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be on the show. I definitely been seeing you grinding. So, whenever I see somebody grinding, somebody putting in a similar work that, we putting in over here at Emerald Gardens, man, I try to look out any way possible. So, it's an honor and a privilege. Right back to you, brother.
I appreciate that, man. Nah, it's been a wild ride, man, and I'm sure it has been for you with Corner Boys and just in general with this industry here in Illinois. It's just a very interesting industry for many reasons. But what? So like, how did Corner Boys got to you, man? How did you get to them?
So the funny thing about it is, 2020, man, I was working in the railroad. I had been there a few years, and I had got laid off. And I had started working for my best friend, Brian Bowens,
Hmm.
at a company called Cranja. They're all from out here, from Indiana and Illinois, and they couldn't get a license, so they just packed up, moved to Cali. When I got laid off, man, they asked me if I wanted to make cold calls from Chicago to Cali to help them get in stores, and I helped them get in about 175 stores in about a year and a half. And this was during COVID, so
Hmm.
things had started to slow down in the cannabis market in Cali. Once COVID had really hit and settled in. So, to make the blow a little bit lesser on them, I told them, like, we had a conversation one night, like, hey, bro, I'm gonna just try to look and find another job, just, to help y'all out. I know y'all got some stuff. Y'all probably gonna have to lay off some people. And that very next day after having that conversation, I had a Cruncher shirt on at a Walgreens down the street from my house. But the Cruncher shirt had a cannabis symbol on it. And my boss that I have now saw me in line. It was like, hey, what's that shirt about? And that's how I found Emerald Gardens. That's how I found the Corner Boys.
Oh shit. So then like what so then what was that brand that you were trying to bring over here from Cali then, if you don't mind me
Oh,
asking?
that's Kranja. So, the funny part about it, Kranja culture, you got Ryan Chrome, you got Brian Bowens, and you got legendary rapper GLC that was on Drive Slow with Kanye, one of Kanye's best friend. He's a big investor and business partner there. The craziest part about it is that I had been working with Corner Boys for about 11 months. And once I felt like the connection was right, I introduced them to Kranja, and now we white label for Kranja.
Oh
So
shit.
they're actually out here. They'll be in stores very soon. We getting them together. They
Mhm.
got like their first 11 stores that they gonna premiere in. Really dope brand, really cool. So it's like, what I'm saying? It's like a full circle moment where they gave me my start in cannabis and I brought them back home to Illinois.
That's what's up. It's pretty dope that like how you said it turned around, but to me it looks like a whole complete circle, you feel me? Like you started at
Absolutely.
one point with them and then you kind of did your thing, but then like you said you brought them back here and that's pretty dope, man, because I feel like a lot of bullshit be happening here in the industry when I feel like it's not really necessary to have a lot of, bullshit and drama, but like it is what it is. We're in the industry where there's a lot of competition, but at the same time, like good competition is what we need. It's like I understand like sometimes there's people out there that really hold a grudge or really hold things personal to a certain point, but like at the end of the day, I feel like this is a place where we all like grow, like we should all grow together. We should all be a little more united than what we are right now. Because at the end of the day, I feel like everyone is gonna always go against us because we love to smoke some cannabis, because we're like that outlier.
Absolutely. I mean, the one thing that I tell people all the time is that a lot of times people always say like, man, it's enough to go around.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of misleading. I don't think it's enough to go around like in this cannabis space right now, but I do think there's opportunity. There's enough opportunity for everybody to hustle to get a piece of the pie. And I think a lot of times when people realize that and see, oh, this ain't the easy way out, it's not an easy way to do this, that's where the divide and the separation comes in. So, I believe that we do have a big opportunity right now in order to to do some big things, to really branch and really come together and do some stuff. It's just everybody has to be, in alignment with that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because I feel like you can only do so much from your end, that you can't really just do everything for everybody. You gotta have at least some people meet you halfway.
Right, absolutely. I mean, you know, a lot of people, like you say, mean a lot of people have to get to that halfway point.
Hmm.
I think a lot of things today, people want a lot of stuff handed to them. And it just doesn't work that way. We have some really, really, really good people, some really, really talented people in this industry, whether you from, legacy or corporate or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Um, it's just, like you said, finding that halfway point for everybody, finding that medium for everybody, and just understanding like, man, it takes hustle. Yeah, COVID was 5 years ago, which is
Hmm.
crazy. Get up, get outside, touch grass, do some things. And I believe that once we align with that, bro, it's gonna be great. I just don't want the industry to get, poisoned by corporate greed like we do in every other field.
Hmm.
Chicago is a very communicative city, and once the community is messing with you, bro, they gonna love you. So I believe once we all get into the community
Hmm.
and just spread the wealth a little bit, we'll be all right.
Most definitely. I like how you mentioned about that you wouldn't want like, the community to get, eaten up by like the corporation or anything like that. But like since you're like in the field and everything like that, like deeply, like how do you see that right now? Like especially here in Chicago.
In terms of say that one more time, brother.
So like how you kind of just mentioned like how you don't want to see here, especially like Illinois, to be like any other state or any other place with the same industry where like the corporation is overtaking and not like the community or like the small mom and pop shop. But like in your point of view, from like your standing point of in this industry, how are you seeing that right now?
Man, it's a lot of corporate dollars coming in, just trying to push the smaller craft rows and especially the legacy people out instead of working with them. I mean, if you know anything about Korner Boys, we're a craft grow.
Hmm.
You know, our company is licensed, it's family owned. Um, So, we're part of the corporation in a sense, just from a smaller scale. We're not an MSO like Cresco or some of these other brands. Um, but if you know about Corner Boys, we're at all the events, all of them. Whether it's Benzinga after parties where the corporate buyers and tastemakers and industry bigwigs, or whether we're at a Moon Rock Mat event, you know, somewhere in Chicago,
Hmm.
we because the one thing that we want to do is show the legacy, show the underground that hey, we care about you guys too. How can we work together? How can we figure out, okay, some of you guys that have been street dealers for so long, how can we get you guys legitimate?
Hmm.
Maybe you could come in as a grower. Maybe you can bring some of your genetics and we do licenses agreements, or maybe we can do some of these things. These are some of the things that we're looking at. So I feel like if more companies, especially the bigger MSOs, go out there and search for that type of talent, man, they don't understand how much the community will get behind them. Because a lot of these
Oh yeah.
corporations put corporate dollars into marketing and to get the shelf space at the dispensaries or to be on the front of their websites, and they feel like that's what's going to sell. But once again, we know in a place like Illinois that's led by whatever Chicago does, the
Mhm.
locals mean everything.
Oh yeah.
So, I just feel like they're just trying to, the bigger corporations are trying to sweep everybody, away instead of working with them.
Yeah, and I do see that though. Like I've been noticing before you even mentioned, the Corner Boys just at every event as if possible. I'm sure like if you guys could be at every fucking single event, you guys would be there.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely. If I
but
had
I
the manpower, I send everybody everywhere, man.
but I feel like that's something that stands out from you guys compared to everybody else. Because like if I honestly see it from point of view from like just someone that just loves to consume cannabis and whether regardless of this podcast or not, but like just looking at the point of view from somebody that just loves to smoke weed, like you don't really see a lot of these MSOs, working with or sponsoring other these like underground scenery events and that's just it's I can see why they wouldn't. I mean it could get like tricky or whatever because you just never know what could happen, right? But at the same time, like why should we be thinking like this if we're all kind of like in commune with this whole one plant?
So, so the one thing I thought about,
Hmm.
um, when I started doing these events was, like, man, you know, what's the difference between an underground event and a quote unquote corporate event?
Hmm.
Bro, there is none. There is no such thing as a sanctioned event. So whether it's a Benzinga after party event or Midwest Terps, shout out to Midwest Terps, a Midwest Terp event. It's literally no, like, there's no sanction, there's no, oh well, I signed this contract or I did this.
Hmm.
No, it's not, bro. So it's like from a tricky side standpoint, it's like tricky be, you know what I mean? It's like it's weird, bro.
so
It's really weird in terms of that. Like everything's still up in the air.
so then like okay, so like you said, like there's no really difference from a corporate to a quote unquote underground. So then like why do you think that other like companies, that are, in dispensaries wouldn't want to collab with other like, events or event coordinators because like I see that again I'm not trying to like drop or anybody like that but it's just me just seeing it in the point of view of just like observing everything but it's like I noticed like some brands would rather just work with some type of like organizations or whatever but and not like try to work with somebody else.
Oh,
it
cultural ignorance. Well, not even cultural ignorance, like just lack of cultural currency, just lack of cultural understanding. Like, it's
like
the
you
same thing we just went through with the whole Drake and Kendrick thing. It's just certain things. It's just certain things you can tell somebody just don't know. Like if somebody from New York comes to Chicago, it's just certain lingo, certain way to move, they're not going to understand because it's not a part of their culture in a sense. And so these corporations, they
Mhm.
don't have the right people a lot of times in that office to say, this is where we need to be. They just go directly to corporate dollars, put it on website, going by the data.
Mhm.
Sometimes the data doesn't tell the full story. So I'm saying, oh man, why we doing this event? Is they gonna land people back to the dispensaries? It might not land them back to the dispensary this go round, but
Hmm.
by the next time I come to these events, I'd have had 4 or 5 people say, man, I need to figure out where this dispensary is near me so I can support you guys. I love you guys, cannabis. I love the way you guys are. So I think it's just cultural, just cultural lack of cultural currency, lack of cultural understanding.
Hmm. And you don't, and you think because like they don't have that right person, they don't like take that risk of saying, oh, let me just go to like this Moonrock Met event or like this Midwest Terps event or like this like barely upcoming person, like you think that's like that's why they're not, risk, I guess like I wouldn't even say a risk because like I feel like you as a cannabis brand, whether you're a big time MSO or a barely started brand, like I feel like you there is no risk because like you don't know the potential amount of like consumers you're just opening the gates to,
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, bro, at the end of the day, like if you take it in terms of if you take it in terms of like music, for example. Like
Hmm.
like nowadays, labels only go to people that's bubbling hot. So if you catch a viral moment, you catch this, they'll come after you. It's no more artist development, it's no more going after new talent. But back in the day, that new talent would be found by A&Rs. And a lot of times these A&Rs was ex-artists, guys from the community, guys that understand what? Culture. So yeah, you have to put the right people in your front office that can go around and say, "All right, I understand this."
Hmm.
Whether it's somebody just local like me, a guy that just understands the community, understands the Chicagoland area, understands the neighboring state of Indiana, just understanding how to go to these places, bring people in, talk their lingo, or whether it's an ex-artist like King Louis, for example.
Hmm.
You always see King Louis at events, at the local underground events, moving around because he knows where to go. So yeah, you have to bring the right people in, and once you bring the right people in, I mean, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Now,
Hmm.
once you bring the right people in, and you bring in some of those people that talk about the data and all this other marketing stuff, if they intertwine well, then dude, you looking at a gold mine.
So yeah, so I feel like it's a little bit of both is good, but like I get what you
Absolutely.
mean though about the whole data and the whole number situation because like that's kind of what it is, and it's sad to say that it is that, but it is that because like whether maybe the host is a good host and always throws a good event or whatever, um or even when it gets to do with influential people, like they everyone out here is always looking at the numbers though,
Well,
like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, we got to make some money.
That is
You
true
know,
though.
we got to make some money. The culture gonna make you famous, and the corporate dollars is what's gonna make you rich. That's just how it works. That's just how it operates. So you have to have a mixture of both. You just have to make sure the line's right. I'm at a point in my career. With the company where I've created this culture around Korner Boys, the same way I'm doing with Tickled Pink right now. I'm creating this culture around these few brands, and now it's time for us to put the numbers together, to put the data together, to put that type of marketing behind it. So, I feel like you always start off with the culture, and then the dollars will follow. I mean, once again, if you look at it from a musical standpoint, that local artist that been grinding for 10 years, doing the small bars, doing the small parties, doing the what's the name, getting the culture involved.
Hmm.
Um, getting the people involved. Over time, you get a label behind them, and now they start putting that corporate money, that corporate marketing. Now they blow up to this bigger artist. So we're just doing it the same type of model. We started off with the culture. Now it's time to put this marketing behind it and get some of this corporate money.
I see. And like, and what's like in the works for you guys then?
Right now, man, it's just extending. I mean, we got new operation managers, we got new growers, we got over 42 different new strands coming out. So we're expanding. We're expanding the horizon. We're working hard on our newest brand, Tickled Pink, right now, celebrating women in cannabis.
Okay.
Yeah, celebrating women in cannabis.
That's what's up. That's what's up,
Um,
homie.
so extending on that,
Mhm.
working with Kranja as we're a white labeler for them, making sure they have the tools that they need, and just really continuing to push forward, putting other people in position. I just got a new position. So the guy that's essentially the new me, quote unquote, my guy Julian, he's doing a really good job of putting his face everywhere. Just being able to get out and do his thing. So, we're just moving it forward, extending. And just like I said, now it's time for that corporate side of everything.
That's what's up, bro. And congrats on that promo though. Hell
No,
yeah.
absolutely love, bro.
Hell yeah. But so then like how so then you guys I feel like you just named like three brands, Corner Boys, Single Pink, and now was it
Kranja.
Karanja. So then like for these each brands, like are you guys focusing specifically on different things for these different brands, or you guys are just kind of bringing the same strands to these
Oh, no, no, that's why I said we got 42 different strands
Oh,
coming.
so
So,
then so Corner Boys is gonna focus now. Like what's Corner Boys' main focus now?
so right now, so Emerald Garden is the conglomerate. Like I said, you got Korner Boys and Tickle Pink. We white label for Karanja.
Hmm.
We work with Cheetah. We do pre-rolls for Rove. So we got a lot of business that we actually do. But in terms of just our brands,
Yeah.
Tickle Pink is the standalone for the women.
Okay.
Corner Boys is the urban urban brand. Um, Kronja is the premium brand, but like I said, they're their own thing. We help with resources, but they're their own thing. We supply cannabis and work together closely with them. But I mean, it's just super premium brand, dude. Super premium packaging. I mean, Juggernaut, dude. Juggernaut, the clothing line
Yeah.
designs their whole everything.
Oh,
All their
really?
packaging. My shouts out to my guy Manny from Juggernaut. It's my dog. He literally like the boutique, the legendary boutique. Literally, that's how premium they are.
Hmm.
So we just focus on that. We just focus on those things. We focus on putting them in front of the right people. When you go more up north, that might not be a corner boy thing. It
Hmm.
might be something for Tickle Pink. Emerald
Hmm.
Gardens is the conglomerate, but that will also be a brand in itself very soon as well, which will be our premium brand. So up north, it might be Emerald Gardens. Downtown, it might be Tickle Pink. On the west side, south side, east side might be Corner Boys.
Hmm.
So it's all about just finding those brands, just using our brands to match up with the people and not force anything on anybody.
Uh, you don't question to you just kind of like how you said it. Up north would be Ember Gardens, and then downtown would be Tinkle Pink, and then the west, east, south side, whatever. What it's gonna be, Corner Boys. But like, you don't think that's pretty crazy? Like just because of like the locations that we're in and part of the city has to be different brands.
I
Like
mean, but it's
that.
it's
That's a,
almost. I mean, it's almost that way with anything, though. It's almost that way with anything. I mean, you're not gonna put a Saks Fifth. You're not gonna put a Saks Fifth in certain parts of Chicago. You're not gonna put a Saks Fifth across the street from Old Block, is you?
no, that you're right on that. But
I
like,
mean,
but
it's.
this is. But we're talking about like here flower though. This is flower that we're talking about here. So like, my question is like, what makes uh well you guys, but I'm talking now here general, like a cannabis company drops like certain brands like at certain dispensaries and also for like certain locations now, like Why can't we
Marketing.
all have everywhere? Like, why can't not downtown have Corner Boys, Tinkle Pink, and Emerald Gardens, and by same for like the north side and the south side?
I mean, at the end of the day, we're creatures of habit. We're creatures of familiarity. So I mean, a lot of it is. I mean, you intertwine sometimes.
Hmm.
You once again, and a lot of times we're always bringing it back to music. So a lot of times, you get people up north that listen to Chief Keef.
Hell
You
no.
get people.
Well, you
You see what I'm
got,
saying?
you got certain people out there, but not like the whole, like just
Exactly.
majority or
So,
whatever.
but yeah, but most of that, if you look up north, probably more of like Taylor Swift or somebody
Hmm.
or like a Jack Harlow or something. So I mean, it's the same. It's the same exact thing with cannabis, bro. So a woman from up north might not want to pull out a Corner Boy pre-roll out of her Louis Vuitton purse. She might wants to pull out a Tickled Pink or Emerald Garden Premium with the premium packaging. It just, bro, it's just marketing. It's just marketing. And I don't, I don't look at it as nothing other than marketing.
Hmm.
At first, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of offended because I'm like, dude, like you said, it's just cannabis.
But
But
so
it's like,
then, sorry, go continue what you're gonna say. But
no, I was just saying, like, it's just cannabis. And,
so
but
so
I too understand what you saying. But go ahead, what you saying?
so then like so then my question is just how you said like somebody from up north wouldn't want to pull out like a Corner Boy pre-roll, but would pull out I guess the premium or a single peak. But like for example, like you wouldn't like think like how was I gonna go with this? Sorry. Like what is it then really? Is it like the quality then? Is it the pricing that's different from the places? Like
One word, it's aesthetics. Does it match my aesthetics? That's it, bro. Does
really?
it? Yeah,
So
bro. It's
like
my. I mean,
what if like
it's. I'm
like
saying, bro. I mean, it's the aesthetics of it. I mean, because at the end of the day, bro. At the end of the day, bro. If if I present a shoe to you, you say, man, that shoe cold as hell.
mhm.
And I present another shoe to you, you be like, man, that shoe ugly. And the shoe that's cold is from Payless, and the shoe that's ugly is Louis Vuitton. Once I tell somebody that, their whole perception of it probably gonna change just because of where it's from. It's aesthetics and marketing, bro. And this shit been going on forever, bro. Forever. Forever. That's just how we are, bro. We are creatures of habit, bro.
It's just a little ridiculous to me though, like how like I guess like one certain brand has to be, somewhere, like we can't all like just be in one shop. You feel me?
No, I mean, and it's like that. I mean, and I had to learn that once again in sales. Like certain stores in certain areas where I didn't think they'd take Corner Boys, they'd take a little of Corner Boys and a lot of Tickle Pink. But they take a little bit of Corner Boys, just a little bit, but they're gonna take a lot of Tickle Pink,
It's
just because it matches their aesthetic, bro. I mean,
okay. Okay, so now like what like let's change the scenario then. So like let's say like you live up north, right?
okay.
And you fuck with Corner Boys, but because of where you're at, you have to go like let's say 30 to 40-minute drive, to downtown just to get a Corner Boy pack. How think of it like that. Like how would one feel like?
You get enough people to go tell that shop, hey man, I don't want to drive 40 minutes for this Corner Boy. I want some Corner Boys here. You make enough noise, they'll bring us in. But
Okay.
we gotta make enough noise about it.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Like you have to you got to make enough noise about it, bro. Once again, just like with music, bro. Certain people are going to tour well in certain areas. Certain people aren't.
I guess so. Yeah, you got a point though. I know it's
You
something
see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's why
why
it's
can't we all just do music together? Why can't I tour wherever I want to tour? Why can't I go wherever I want to go? It just doesn't work that way. The world doesn't work that way. The world ain't never worked that way and probably never will work that way. It just is what it is. And I have to understand that as me also being the event coordinator, I can't book Corner Boys. for a Tickle Pink aesthetic event, and then now we're not getting any turnover because it's not appealing to these people.
Yeah, I get you on that.
You see what I'm saying? I would want
Yeah.
it to, but I
Hmm.
know at the end of the day, I do have to bring in some dollars to this company.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I get you though. I get what you're coming from.
Absolutely.
But it's wild though how it get to the point where it's even in our cannabis though. Like can't like we should be at least a little grateful that we at least have something in our dispensaries, or at least we have a dispensary. But just how you said, where it's just the nature of habit, man.
And I tell you something, bro. So when you get people that has the options of variety like that, especially like here in Chicago, um, you have people that can go underground and grab some weed, and then you
Mhm.
got all these dispensaries. So they're very picky, they're very choosy about what they do, who they go, the aesthetics of and everything. The more southern you get in Illinois, especially those cities that surrounding illegal states, Iowa, Kentucky, Wisconsin, oh, they're
Mhm.
very appreciative. They love the Corner Boys, love us because they're very appreciative of it. They love us. Now you still got some cities down there that, in Edwardsville, for example, you still have that separation. Certain dispensaries, all right, Tickle Pink go here, but for the most part, bro, they love us. So, like I said, I wish it was the same too, so we can sell both of these damn brands evenly. Shit.
Yeah, it's like not really the same, but kind of the same. But so then like what kind of like how you just said, closer to like the outer states. So is that pretty much like your hot spots? Like have you is that
Um,
like for you guys, but like in I guess like in point of view, like in general, like from you walking to this dispensaries, like hearing people out.
Well, I mean, I started off being the only brand ambassador that we have. So I
Okay.
took all of last year and traveled the whole entire state myself, doing all our pop-ups and all our events. So I can't, it's a blessing. I mean, I put like 40,000 miles on my car, but it's a blessing because it allowed me to understand buying habits throughout the state. So that's why I get that from. I understand like, man, down here, down south, bro, they're appreciative of the dispensaries. One, because like I said, they don't have the luxury of leaving out of their state if they want to and driving 40 minutes to Michigan. They don't have that luxury.
Hmm.
Two, they don't have the underground as well that we have in Chicago. Chicago underground, we got some shit. Well, shouts out to Black Hippie Farms.
Oh, hell
Really,
yeah.
really dope guys. Super crazy weed. They don't have that down there. So they're very, appreciative. So, but yeah, down south, definitely a hot spot for us. Definitely a hot spot. I tell people all the time, you want to go make some real money in sales? Get your ass down south, Illinois. They're appreciative. They take meetings. And you going with your best foot forward, you'll come out with a sale a lot of times.
Damn, that's what's up. And um, what about closer to like the Indiana borderline and everything like that? Like, do
Um,
you see a lot of like people from Indiana popping over, coming over here and stuff like that?
Oh no, I mean for the most part, people support us.
Hmm.
Because like I said, I'm from Indiana, I'm from East Chicago, Indiana. Shouts out to the harbor. Um, so a lot of people come over and support me personally, like when we were in missions or in Body and Mind in Markham, people would come over, but for the most part, people go to Michigan, bro.
I think we all know that.
Yeah, I mean, people like, bro. I mean, like, you got to realize, like, our head growers from Michigan. I played my college football in Michigan, so I understand. Like, I get it, bro. I just came from Michigan from the first time in a few years, and just driving through and seeing all the billboards, 40% off for first time customers,
Yeah.
30% off. Here, like it's this dispensary, that dispensary, this dispensary. It's the Wild
Dispensary
Wild
coming
West.
soon. Hell yeah.
And then it's like, bro, you can buy as much as you want, damn near.
Right.
So
It's wild.
I can't be mad at it. But I tell people all the time, that's good for the consumer, terrible for the buyer. Like
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
for me as a buyer or as a seller, bro, it's awful because if you get an ounce for $50, that means 9 times out of 10, me as the seller, I sold it to you for $25. If I'm selling you $25 ounces, if I'm not growing this damn weed free, then I'm really just keeping the lights on. So it's very good for the customers,
Mhm.
terrible for us on the corporate side.
So, I mean, I'm not. Do you know a little bit much more in depth of Michigan laws by any chance?
I know that they was handing out licenses like it was 40 going north.
Y-
Very much so easier to get a license than it was out here in Illinois. I don't think it's a limit on how much you can buy.
yeah.
Uh, and
So
I
then my
guess
question is like, if like these buyers and already kind of already know, but at the same time you have different MSOs in there as well. But like, let's say like for like a craft grower over there, like um why, or like in general, like just the whole industry in there, like why not kind of just raise the price up a little more? Like, I'm not saying like as a consumer, do it, but because I love the fucking prices over there, like you get your buck worth, you feel me? But like if you're seeing like your company or brand, kind of struggling, like why not kind of raise the bar at least a little bit?
I guess some brands are based on value. Some brands are based on being value brands. It's like that's like asking why has the dollar store survived this long and if everything was a dollar. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So their whole business, a lot of these brand business models in Michigan is low price, great value. Low price, great value. So if you have about 5 to 10 of those, somebody coming in trying to sell an ounce for the normal price or close to street price, you're never going to make any money. Because why would I do that? So it's a race to the bottom. Everybody has a race to the bottom because the only thing that's getting these customers to come in and buy like this is the price. Because Michigan weed as a whole, it's some really decent weeds. You can find some really kill weed over there for cheap, dirt cheap. So once you get to that point, it's really hardly nothing you can do about it.
So it's pretty much just saying like they're okay with where they're at then.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they wish they could. They wish they can scale up higher, but
Hmm.
I mean, of course, the top brands is gonna make money, bro. Everything in the business world, you always look at the top 3 to 5%. You know what I mean? Like the top 3 to 5% of NBA players make this much money.
Hmm.
The top 3 to 5% of women on OnlyFans make this much money. The top 3 to 5% of rappers make this much money. You see what I'm saying? So
So then like, okay. So then like let's go now with like Illinois pricing. So then like what can you say about Illinois pricing?
it's high as shit. It's high.
Yeah, we know
It's
that.
high. It's high, brother. It's high.
Yeah.
And and and
People are
and
broke
and
these days, bro.
yeah, and corporate greed, bro. Corporate corporate greed is a motherfucker, dog. Like just y- uh, how can a how can a $45 eighth turn to $62 after taxes, bro?
I don't know how, man. How can a set no? How can a $17 eighth take you to like almost close to $40, bro, after tax? That's fucking wild, man.
And bro, like most of the time, like they 2x it. So if we selling you an eighth for $20, they 2x it, sell it to you for 40 so they can make a good profit on it. But then it's like, yo, hey, don't forget the taxes. So, you know, legislators are very like weary, and the fact that we keep making more and more money
Mhm.
every year in it. Why, if you're a legislator, why would you take the taxes away until you start seeing the number drop?
And you know what? It's crazy that our people of our state is like okay with that because like those numbers haven't dropped. Like, yeah, you seen like a little dip, like probably like 2 years ago, but like right now, like it's been high. Like, and I'm just like, wow, you know.
It's booming. It's booming. So it's like,
But my
yo,
question
you
is,
know how much?
so my question. Sorry to cut you off, but now this is here's another question: Is it worth it though?
What you mean in terms of what?
Is it worth getting that overpriced ape and that or like that overpriced cart, that overpriced concentrate?
Once again, what I tell you, is it worth it when you can drive 45 minutes to Michigan?
Uh-huh.
No, it's not worth it. But is it worth it when you in Iowa, Kentucky, or Wisconsin, or you in the neighboring city in Illinois? So your drive to Michigan is a few hours? Or when I go to Consume and Antioch, that's right on the border of Wisconsin, and all I see is Wisconsin license plates because they're a legal state. Yeah, Illinois know um the geographical measurements of how many people are going to buy and come into the state and buy. That's why they're cool with keeping the prices, the taxes that high. So it's worth it to some of the people down south, Illinois for sure.
But like,
And
I guess what
and
I'm,
and and richer and people with money don't mind paying them prices.
of course, because you got the guava, you don't mind. But like, let's say like for like somebody let's say like a 21-year-old, you know, he's still going to school but has a job, right?
Right?
You think that for that person is worth that buck for that amount?
It all depends.
Let's
Once again,
uh-huh.
if he at the university, if he at the University of Southern Illinois, it's gonna be worth it because what's your next option?
I know you could get yourself a plug in that university. Come on, man.
I mean, you listen. You probably can.
Right?
Might not have the best kill down there,
Uh-huh.
and number two, we're going through a big battle. It's a real battle of people putting stuff in weed these days as well.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. Lace cannabis has been a big thing recently. Yeah. I remember when I actually started smoking and shit, we had no dispensaries at that point, so we really had to like, just I guess trust with the plug, whatever, But like
Yeah,
9 times out of 10,
but
that wasn't the case though.
yeah,
You rarely had stuff like that happening.
and two, the plug was somebody you went to school with, older guy, through the community.
Mm-hmm.
When you at college, you down here trying to find these plugs. You don't know these people. You know, Exaleaf and DeKalb, 3 blocks away from Northern Illinois University. Boom, boom, they boom. But once again, too, the people coming in thrive off of cheaper, all right, well, cheap pre-rolls,
Mm-hmm.
deals, student ID, student 10% off. I mean, we do have a value brand called Dollar Trees, like the store Dollar Tree. Dollar Trees where they sell like $8 pre-rolls. We sell them like, you know what I mean, $8 pre-rolls,
Mm-hmm.
$6 pre-rolls, $20, 15, $20 apes. You gotta think about it. You gotta think about it too though. Think about like you said, that college students gonna treat weed the same way they treat liquor. When they on the budget, they gonna go buy that E&J, that moonshine, that Saveca. But
Mm-hmm.
when they get that refund check, what they doing? Douce, Prosecco's, Remy Martin, so they can do the same thing with weed. When they got it,
Mm-hmm.
when they barely got it, they gonna scram up some money together. We're gonna get an eighth, we're gonna get a seventh. This shit gonna last us a few days. But when that check clear, they going to get the top notch this. They're going to get them some high class 93 boys, some Crongers, some Corner Boys, some Tickled Pink. Or they going to get what they going to get what they want. So, you know, yeah, I realize, bro. Two things always gonna sell. Three things always gonna sell, and they found this out during COVID: alcohol, food, and cannabis. No matter what, we was going through a crisis, and alcohol, food, and cannabis continue, if not doubled up, when it happened.
Hmm.
So people will find a way, especially if they don't have another way.
Facts though. Damn, that's wild. But
It's
still,
different, bro. It's different.
it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I can't, counter argue, because it's like that's not what I want. But it's like it's just interesting to me though, how
Well,
we're.
I would love for us to be something similar
Hmm.
to Michigan. Dude, if we could just lower the taxes, I would be fine with that.
I think
Lower
so.
the
Yeah, I
yeah,
think that because that's what kills it though.
lower the taxes, bro. You
If
lower you if you lower the
mhm.
taxes, bro, we bring in so much more money.
I
But
think
they want that upfront dollar so bad.
I think either Illinois should do two things: either lower the taxes or give us a good experience in that dispensary. Because that experience in that dispensary, come on, man, come on.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, that but the one thing I will say, bro, is like that's why like when we do our pop-ups, when we do
Hmm.
our pop-ups at stores, bro, we make sure we talk to every single person there. We got a spinning wheel, we got a game you can play. It's just interaction, creating that experience, wanting you to say, "Oh my God, the Corner Boys coming today." So, you know, I understand that because other brands come in or other stores or whatever this, certain whatever the case may be, is just so bland. It's just so what's the name? But it's out of touch.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Corporations think about visual, like visual currency, shelf space.
Hmm.
Where are we on the menu on these websites? They don't think about just cultural currency, bro. They don't think about the experience as much.
Like,
They just they
mhm.
want to they want to make some weed that's good enough that they can mass produce, and they want to put marketing dollars into these things where the data shows that they're gonna be successful. That's
I
it, bro.
I feel like if you give me that experience, like where I can at least look at it and smell it, then I wouldn't mind buying that, like, $40 eighth. But if it's like, like at least give us that, if you guys like that experience, of like kind of let us see it before we buy it, because like that's something I feel like as a consumer, that's something we all kind of like. I wouldn't say nag, but like it's just something that we're like, like it's something that we don't. I guess it's something that we dislike, as that we don't get to see the product before.
Well, I put it to you like this, bro. I tell people this.
Hmm.
Until we get to Colorado and California regulations, we're never going to experience the full potential of cannabis in Illinois. So in Cali, you can smell. They do have smell jars and look jars where you can look at it and they open up a slot and you can smell it. Um, and it helps a 1,000%. That's why the one thing that people liked about the Corner Boys was you can literally look at it because the package was see through. So somebody might, when they bring it up to ring it up, hey, let me see that. Let me look at that. I might not want this,
Hmm.
but we want you to be able to see our cannabis because we didn't have anything to hide. We never have anything to hide. So I get exactly what you're saying. The experience can be a lot better, dude. When you walk into a store in California, and they got vendors there doing pop-ups, and they got music playing, and everybody's hype and geeked, and then like you say, you get to smell it, you get to
Hmm.
see it. They might have a short fucking video on it,
No,
dude.
even
What?
even like the energy of the workers there, you know?
No, absolutely, absolutely. But that comes from employees incentive.
Hmm.
That comes from operations. What's my incentive to be hype? Like, okay, you in here to buy this shit. Like, I can try to sway you. I'm here to help you make a decision, not necessarily sway you to buy one way or another.
Hmm.
I'm here to help you make a decision. That's it.
That sounds dead though. You don't think that sounds dead? Like
No, 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 no.
you're going to
What I'm
a
saying
weed,
is,
yeah, you're not you're going like into a weed shop, but like you're just like you're just there though. Like
I get it, and
uh-huh.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's their mindset on it, but the company itself has to increase these employee incentives. you know. But a lot of times, bro, a lot of these companies, dude, are just holding on by a thread, dude. Holding
Really?
on by holding on by a thread.
But why is that?
Think about it, bro. We don't have any zoning laws. Like, so dispensaries are getting built right on top of each other, right next to each other. In Waukegan, I'll give you an example. You got Green Light, you got Planet 13, and you got Ivy Hall, all within like 3 minutes of each other.
Oh,
So
really?
what is a customer's real incentive to go to one of these or another? You see what I'm saying? Instead of saying like, hey, you make this motherfucker can't be within 10 miles of this dispensary.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And now it gives some space and some decent and some credence, and all right, this group of people shops here, this group of people shop here, this group of people shop here. But at that point, now those dispensaries are all playing Michigan games. It's a race to the bottom. Who got the cheaper prices?
Yeah.
Because people gonna look at what? Two things, bro. THC percentage and price. Especially out here, since they can't visually look at it
Hmm.
or smell it. So you're going off two things: THC percentage and price.
I feel with the THC percentage, we one shouldn't really look at that, but I don't know what's the point on that, but we kind of like not we kind of all know that the high percentage doesn't mean you're gonna get like the high the full like the highest high or whatever like.
The average consumer, bro, is such a novice to cannabis in a lot of ways
Hmm.
that they figure out what they can go off of and go off that, because you can have some high testers that get you barely high. You can have some low testers that knock you out. See, bro, it's over 77 different cannabinoids, right?
Hmm.
We only test like the first 25, 27. Don't quote me. The first 20 something, I believe. That gives us our range and our THC percentile. So you don't really know about these other 50, 40 something cannabinoids that could make us be affected in a different way. And that's why it's different. You know, I try to tell people all the time, please don't go off of THC percentage.
Yeah, same. We always kind of mentioned that in the pod as
Like,
well. Like,
please don't go off of
don't,
THC
yeah,
percentage.
no, come on, man. That's a little no right there.
I tell you another one, bro, that
Hmm.
I've heard few cannabis scientists say it, but the whole indica and sativa thing, bro, is more of a selling ploy than it is.
Like an actual
Because,
thing.
yeah, because how many times have you had a sativa
Uh-huh.
that affected you one way and somebody else that's smoking the same blunt is knocked the fuck out after y'all smoke? But this
You
supposed
got
to
a
keep
point, I guess.
but this
Uh-huh.
supposed to keep you up.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, cool.
So
But when they get when they
is that why a majority of now everything is just hybrid?
dude, all listen, most of our weeds are hybrids. Might just come from the mother or the clone that we that you know the different cuts that we use in terms of our clones, in terms of our seeds or
Hmm.
whatever. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it is hybrid now, and I'm fine with that. Fine with them not even putting that on there, bro. What is this shit gonna do? Like, because I mean, me personally, I mean, I've used weed to do different things, but I truly had sativas, bro, that knocked me clean out, and I had indicas that had me running 3, 4 miles. So I don't know.
It's just a little it's a little fuck. It's like a little fuck with your brain because like if you've been smoking for so long and you're like so used to that, like that, oh, this is a sativa, or this is an indica, and this is a hybrid, like that's just a little mind blown and my little mind fucked to kind of realize till now, X amount of years later, it's just hybrid or just it's just what it is, it's just because of what's crossed, with the mother and father, or whether it's a clone, like it's all. I feel like it's just at the end, it's all genetics,
Absolutely. I
That
mean,
that's it.
bro, like the one thing that I learned is that with breeding, um, a lot of people that breed dogs are good breeders in cannabis. Are good with genetics and because they kind of go like hand in hand. So like once I start understanding more about that, because I know a little bit about dog breeding, I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, like you said, it's all genetics, bro. It's all cuts, it's all clones, it's all taking the strongest clone from here and just keep cutting it and keep cutting it and keep cutting it until you get this super genetic or this super cut. It's just the same thing with like breeding dogs, bro. So I mean, it's all genetics at the end of the day, like you said.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but like again, it's just like that knowledge or like that lane that culture, of what it was before, and it's just amazing though to look at it, whether you're a new consumer or you've been a consumer for since X amount of years, like just seeing the culture evolve. Although the culture that we know before is still there, but it's different though.
It's corporatized, bro. It's corporatized. It's mass production.
Hmm.
Like even bro, like even when everybody is like, all right, man, I get my weed from Cali. Like they understand how to do it and still make it perfect, and they still not mass productive like the local guys that was growing this shit in Cali or getting it from Mexico or whatever they was. Like they understood how to grow it and still take care of it. It's getting so mass produced now that it's different. It's hard to make great product out of like mass production
Hmm.
or different product out of mass production. Like a lot of our people that's local, Black Hippie Farm, for example, they're growing in controlled areas where they can control this and put the best product out possible. So with a lot of people, with a lot of these big old MSOs coming in and just mass producing, mass producing, mass producing, mass producing, bro. As long as it's passing those tests, as long as they could put those marketing dollars to get those people behind it, oh man, they don't, bro. They don't really care.
So how about like craft growers then?
Well, we're smaller, so like one of our pitches to people is that we do customization. Is there a strand that you're thinking of on our edible size? Is there edible flavor that you would like?
Mhm.
Because we're not producing on a mass scale like that.
So then you guys still have that control then to your
Absolutely.
garden.
That's why, bro. That's why we're able to do 42 to 60 new strands coming up
Hmm.
because we're able to control that. We're able to really breed. All right, this clone, this clone, this clone, this clone. We're able to mix those two. We're able to do that because we're smaller, because we can control it. Bro, you look at some of those buildings, some of those bigger MSOs, dude, huge, huge. I appreciate the craft girl. I
Hmm.
appreciate the craft girl for sure.
Even like a local grower too, man. I mean, we gotta appreciate it, all you
For sure.
guys because
Bro,
it's
you listen, you hear I keep talking about black hippie farms,
got another
even
one, Midwest Terps, bro. They
Midwest
another.
Midwest Terps, bro.
You got some you
It's
got other people though. You got
it's
like
just,
some.
it's so many people that just got some good shit, bro. I mean, it's even on the accessory side, my boy Rello raps, my boy Rap Patch, my boy Jeremy. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the up and coming brands that's coming, some of the up and grow. My guy Kid Frost, he got some crazy genetics. There's so many people with just like stupid genetics coming out.
Hmm.
So, it's you definitely want to pay homage to the locals, bro. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's why I don't mind setting up that table and being right next to them, vending with them.
that's what's up, and it shows hella love to the community a lot. You
No,
know,
for sure, bro.
hell
And it's
yeah.
not fake. And it's not fake. Like we're not out there because you got like,
Nah,
oh, we need this. Look, no, bro, I'm out there because I feel safe, because I'm comfortable. I'm around my people.
yeah, hell yeah. 'Cause we all united with to this plant, man.
Exactly. You see how we are when we there, bro. We chilling.
Yeah,
We
hell
rolling up.
yeah.
We talking to the people.
All
Man, come get
right.
y'all some merch. Give us a follow. Follow the movement. What's up?
Right. You got your J's out there for the day.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I
come
love
on,
that.
bro.
I love that, bro. Hell yeah. Um, so speaking of the merch, bro, I feel like y'all always killing it with the merch. Y'all really always do killing it with the merch. Like I told you, bro, I got me the Scarface one. It says start from the bottom with the Corner Boy
Yes, sir.
logo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
nah, every time I see you on the media, man, all the shirts and everything, y'all really killing it. I fuck with it.
Nah,
Um,
man. We just,
so whoever in charge of the merch, that's what's up. Shout out to the guy or the lady doing the merch. Real talk.
oh, for sure, for sure.
uh, what?
For Corner Boys, that's
Uh-huh.
Tim. Our head grower, for
So
Tickled Pink, that's Miss Kim, the owner's wife. She does a
okay.
really good job, really great job with the merch and the shirts and the mugs and everything.
So
So, I mean, for sure.
how do you guys pick like your shirt? Because I feel like you guys pick certain people. You had Scarface on like the one I have. I know you seen. I think you had some president. Was it? I don't know if it was Reagan or Kennedy. I
JFK.
forgot. JFK. Yeah. And then um, who else did I seen?
We got Bob Marley, we got
There you go.
Jordan,
Uh-huh.
we got the Gnome, we got Tim Allen.
So like those
Um,
people, like, do they like represent something to you guys, or is it just like icons in general? Or
you, you know what, man? Tim, which is our head grower, um, he picked like the first four designs and they went crazy. And we was just like, listen, we don't know how you selecting them. We don't know why you selecting them. Just keep selecting them. And he hasn't missed yet.
oh
He
wow,
has not missed yet, bro. And sometimes it just be you ever heard how they came up with SpongeBob, the cartoon?
honestly, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think.
So,
Maybe if I did, but I forgot.
so
I don't
I think
know.
they said they were like college roommates, bro.
Uh-huh.
They got high and, and,
Merch.
and, and wrote SpongeBob.
Get out
So
of here.
sometimes, bro, when you off that J, when you off that weed like that, bro, tell might hit the J, hit the dank, hit the edible, and just come up with designs, bro. And whatever you do, we get behind it, and everybody loves it every time.
It's rumored that the dude was high. That's
Yeah,
wild.
oh yeah,
Uh,
no, for sure.
but nah, thanks for asking on about me, man. The pot, I mean the brand, my guy. But I'm pretty a little baked right now off these dabs. Um, we just got low key got a new sponsor actually. We got sponsored not literally like 2 days, like Sunday last Sunday by Vibes, man. Vibes Papers. So that's a big one for us actually. I know. I was pretty wild and impressed for myself, man. I'm like, damn, okay.
You've
That's
been
what's
grinding,
up. So
man.
that's
You
pretty
listen,
blessed, man.
you've
Hell
been
yeah, man.
grinding though, bro. You've been you taking that extra step, bro. You putting that microphone on, you
Mhm.
interviewing people, you getting into the community, and why not reward you by helping sponsor you, man? So I mean, that's big, bro.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations,
Oh,
and
appreciate.
the next time, next time we get on this mic and talk, I'm pretty sure I'll be hearing about vibes plus this big company and this big company, man. It's on the sky's only the limit for you, bro.
Oh, most definitely, guy. And I'm pretty blessed as well for all everything. It's been a whole fucking journey, bro. Like, it got to a point where I just kind of started to enjoy it, like wherever it takes me, it takes me, And little
Absolutely.
did it happen, this happened. So hell yeah, yeah, it did take a big dub on this one, but overall, bro, I mean, like, I just keep doing my thing, man, because I love doing this, I'm not in it for no money or anything like that. I'm just in it because, one, I love smoking cannabis. I love trying different types of strains, whether it's flower, card, or, even dabs. And as well, from like day one of me starting Canna Vibe and everything, like I really wanted to focus on just covering the Midwest on this industry because you have people covering Cali, on YouTube. You have people covering, on the NYC. You got people down in Florida. So you got nobody here in the Midwest. So I was like, let me just see where it goes, and we're here, man. Yeah, it's just been a whole fucking vibe, man. And now we're here, bro, talking to you, man, talking to a cannabis brand, that gives up, quality product to the people.
Man, bro, and just like how you say they talk about Cali, they talk about New York, they talk about the bigger markets. But you just said how you spoke with the Midwest, bro. Once again, just taking it back to music. Like that Midwest and those other areas in the music business, what they call the chitlin circuit. That's what people get their grind on first, and they start first. They go through the chitlin circuits 3 and 4 times and build up an audience before they get to these bigger markets. So you keep building on these markets. Ohio is legal, Michigan is legal,
Yeah, we
all
we've
these other.
actually,
You
yeah,
see what I'm?
we've actually have touched down on Michigan for quite a while. It's just like how you just mentioned Ohio. I gotta go to Missouri. I gotta go to Minnesota. You know,
Yeah, you see what I'm
one
saying? So
one
once you attack those markets and you get you grab that name for yourself, man, the Calis and the New Yorks and all those other people, they'll be reaching out to you.
Hell yeah, bro. But I can't always forget where we all came from, I can't. That's something
Factual.
that I always like to just point out, and it's just the humble, how I started is the way I want to always be throughout this whole journey. Like I don't want, the game to kind of just change.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, I'm the same exact way, bro. I've had people come up to me and say, bro, I wanted to talk to you, but I didn't know what to say. And I'm just like, bro, I'm a normal person. I sell cannabis, bro. I'm like, bro, my grind is no different than your grind. So, I don't ever want that shit to change. I want it to be as accessible as possible. When I'm out at these events, pull me to the side, talk to me if you want to talk to me. Anything you need me to answer, I can answer. If I can help, I will. If I can't help, I can find you somebody that can.
Oh yeah, my guy. But like I know you mentioned that you guys are dropping 42 different strands. Can you like give us a little sneak peek of like at least one, a couple, or at least one
Tricone Jordan.
Tricone Jordan?
Tricone Jordan, bro, is
Tell us about that strain right now.
when I do the trichomes and the terps on it, bro, are
Mhm.
like chef kiss. The soap, the soap is good. The soap is so good. Um, we got a new Joker 31 coming out. We got Holly Berry coming out, super fruity strand. Smells so good right out the bag.
Mhm.
Um, what was the other one that they just another punchline. We got another punchline that's so fucking punchy. We got Mega Man. Mega Man is crazy. So I mean, bro, we got some stuff coming down the pipeline, and then we got, like I said, bro, we got vapes, we got edibles, we got
Talk
um,
about your edibles.
so our edibles, bro, our edibles. We have a person that has been doing edibles for 31 years. And I'm talking about just in the food industry, period, as well. So I mean, they have connections to like the people that do the cheese for craft, and just so they're like mad scientists, bro. So the one thing about our edibles that make them unique is that our Tickled Pink, we have hard candies. So a lot of people got mints. A lot
Hmm.
of people even got sours. A lot of people even got tablets. But not too many people in the state of Illinois have hard candies. So it really stands out. And it helps medical patients that can't chew or got like throat problems, that can't really swallow food and stuff like that. If you suck on it, and what's the name, L, the juices from it gets you good and high. So, we just wanted to be able to help those people out, those patients out, and people that don't want to chew, just want to keep it kind of like just cool, calm, boom, pop one in, chill and have your conversations while it's going, just like that, man. We just really wanted
Hmm.
something like that. So that's really, really, that's one thing that, like, even when you talk to buyers, just their eyes just wide open.
Damn, that's what's up. That's pretty interesting though. And I like how now like the edible side of like this industry is getting more creative with what they're bringing out now. You know, it's not just the simple brownies or cookies like the bakes anymore. You know, like how you say you got the mints, the gum, the sours, you know, and now
Popcorn,
yeah,
all type of
right.
shit.
Right, and now the hard candy, yeah, like I can't wait to see what else people come out with, man. Like imagine like a frozen edible that you can just, air fry it at the crib and just, there you go. That'll be fucking
Hey,
cool as hell, right?
hey, man, listen, shouts out to my man, Carlos with Elevated Cocktails. He do the popsicles, he do the freezies, he do the infused drinks. You know what I'm saying? So, like, look out for my guy Carlos. You never know what he coming up with next. But like I said, bro,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful market. And what I always tell people all the time is like, hey, I get it. You want to be the grower, you want your own strand, you want your
Hmm.
own brand, you want all these things. That's cool. But just like in music, everybody wanted to be the rapper. But who wants to be the A&R? Who wants to be the video director?
Hmm.
Who wants to be the producer? Who There's so many other niches in this game. Bro, transportation people are getting $5 a mile to deliver.
Yeah.
So when you got to go to Southern Illinois and you driving 200 miles, that's $1,000 off of
Yeah.
down there two and 1.5 fill ups. So it's not even cost you that much to fill up.
Hell no. You still
People are getting
level,
$5 a mile, bro.
5 miles an hour, $5 a
Five
mile.
dollars a mile, bro, to
Wow.
drive.
Damn. But
Everybody want to, man, I want to grow this, I want to do this.
mhm.
No, bro, find your niche and stick to it.
Yeah, you gotta be the employer and the boss at the same time, bro. You can't just wake up one day thinking you'll be the boss just because you stepped on day one. You can't.
Bro, get
Uh,
innovative in this shit.
it.
Man, shout out, bro. Shout out to my boy from Cali, man. God bless him. I forgot his name. Um, Woody's Glass Gallery had brought
Mhm.
him in. He's a fucking um, professional pipe maker.
Okay.
He makes professional bongs, bro. And they flew him in from Cali for 420. Motherfucker made one out of like some Jordans. Made a bong out of like some Jordans, bro.
Really? What?
Find your niche and stick to it, bro. Everybody not gonna do the same job.
I don't know.
Everybody's not gonna do the same job, brother. We just have to find that, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. And that shit, I love where I'm at. I love my lane, dude. I love talking to
Media,
everybody, man,
cannabis
and
media,
smoking.
cannabis media.
Right. I love fucking smoking weed with y'all and talking about shit, everything.
I
You
know
know?
cannabis shapes.
Come on.
So absolutely, bro.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I know we've been talking a lot about weed. But shit, I know you've mentioned you into like other stuff such as like working out and fitness, sports like that. Um but like before we get probably get into that, bro, I know you've been tying this whole conversation to music, bro. So, what's like your type of music when you're toking, man? Like, who's your go-to artist when you're toking?
Bro, it's right. I used to do music. Like, so my grandfather was a blues singer from the 50s in the South.
Okay.
Um, And then my younger brother, he was the youngest school teacher in music teacher in Indiana State history. Um, I played the tuba. I know how to play the piano a little bit. I used to rap. I used to produce for a minute. I got songs with King Louis back in the day. I produced for a few Dipset artists. So I love music, bro. So it just all depends on my mood, bro. It really all depends on my mood, bro. I can listen to anything from like Japanese orchestra music to like Irish gospel music just because I sampled so
Merch.
much. So just trying to find dope samples. So bro,
Hmm.
so it all really depends.
Hey, that's pretty dope though. So like, you really have like a good like listening ear then, like to like this rhythm, the tones, of everything. Since
Facts.
um, but like what out of like all this type of like different type of genre and different type of like music of different language and stuff like what has been like one similar or one big difference from each individual type of music that you've have came across when producing
Um,
or just in general? I feel like that was just like a little too hard question for right now.
um, like one difference that I see in these different genres.
Hmm.
I
Or one
mean,
similar thing.
um, for me, I just think like in terms of like difference, it's just like the intentions behind it, you know, like drill music is more so rooted in just pain and anger and current events of what's going on. Like 90s R&B was rooted and pure emotions, just whether it's rage from a breakup or love. Hip hop is more so rooted in the roots and the spirituality of the music side. So it's a lot of different things that go with that. One thing I will say is like I love 90s R&B music, love it. I can listen to it all day,
Hmm.
every day, just because you felt the soul in it. a lot of soulfulness in the music.
Like by the way, like they're like the way it's being sang, they're like
Yeah,
the instrumental.
just the way it make you feel. Like music is a big feeling. Like the tones are very big on things. Lower tones, lower frequencies. What I mean, are more dark, more dark. Higher frequencies are more on the happier side. When you listen to certain tones, when you listen to like Gucci Man, Lemonade chain with the freeze, it's a happier tone because it's higher. But then when you listen to Look at Me or like by Triple X, it's a lower frequency, lower tone. So it's just so many different things. Like even with like when you listen to Don't Like by Chief Keef, he
Mhm.
might be talking about like some drilling shit about what he don't like, but it's still up tempo because all the instruments are very more higher pitched.
Yeah, I can most definitely see that though. It's really interesting though how it gets you really in a certain type of mood though. Music.
No, absolutely.
That's really pretty crazy. Like wild to kind of like let that noise, that sound, that vibration, like just change your mood and just change your body feeling to it, you know?
No, for a fact, bro. And it used to be funny for me, because I play sports as
Hmm.
well. Before games, before football games, bro, it's funny because I listen to nothing but R&B. Like I wouldn't need no hype music because for me, I didn't necessarily need to be hype. I needed to be focused. I need to be calm. You
Hmm.
got those one people that they need to listen to that we ready, all that hype, energetic, what's the
Yeah,
name
like get
to
all
get them
bumped up shit.
to get
Yeah,
them
like
going. And I
hell
was just
yeah.
like, no, bro, I need to be calm. I
Let
need
me
to be calm. So
let me hit
let
my
me
head in
cool
the
out.
locker type shit.
No, absolutely, man.
Fucking trying to be like LeBron before game day. Ah!
Right. Exactly.
Oh my God. No, yeah, I get you, man. I actually know somebody that before he used to play football, like football games, he would have to like play like he would play like Michael Jackson just to get like in the groove of things, you know, like I'm like, hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do to pregame, bro.
Everybody, like you said, bro, everybody's different, bro. Everybody's different. That's the beauty. That's the beauty about music. That's the beauty about music. It's something for everybody.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Hell yeah. I feel like if there was a world where there was no music, I'd be kind of sad, bro.
Bro, I mean, music.
Imagine that. Like
No,
what
music comes from everything, bro. Every sound, every what's name can be used to be incorporated in music, and a world without it to be so bland.
so so you saying that if anything it would have to be like zero sound then, huh? So we would have
In a
to literally
sense,
that's
in a
wild.
sense,
So completely silent. Damn.
that's just crazy, son.
That's crazy, bro. So, so then I know we in the subject of music and everything, man. Um, and it's just because it's been also like popping up as well throughout the week on my feed and shit like that on the gram. But like, what's with this whole, this whole Diddy situation, bro? What's going on, man?
Man, I don't know, bro. I tell you a funny story. I tell listen, I tell you a funny story.
Mhm.
Game 4 of the Pacers versus the Knicks. Mind you, I'm from Indiana, so I shoot down to Indianapolis. I got a lot of people. Shout out to my Naptown folks. Shout out to my people that migrated to Nap. Really, I get a lot of love in Indianapolis. They're my folks. Shout out to Mike Gillis. Now, we don't run from adversity. Of my peoples. Um, so, boom, we shoot to the Indy 500. Then we shoot over to the Pacers game. So, they playing the Knicks. The Knicks, they had beat up somebody from the Pacers when they was in New York for game 1 and 2. So when I get there, bro, I'm drunk, I'm
Like,
high,
like actual physics, like
yeah, and
beat up
actually
some.
beat them up. So when I get out there, bro, I'm drunk. Hi, I'm flicking Knicks fans hats off their head because it's like you're gonna get beat up out here. There's too many of us. So we talking crazy, whatever. So halftime come.
Uh-huh.
We go to the bathroom, we waiting in line. We right in front of this Knicks fan. Older guy, he talking, blah, 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 whatever. I look him dead in his face. I say, forget this. I said, so what is y'all gonna do about Diddy? Man, he looked me dead in my face. He looked me dead in my face and said, yo, son, I got three sisters, B. I don't know nothing about that, son. He looked like a sad puppy when I asked him what y'all was gonna do about Diddy. Fuck this game. I want to know what y'all talking about with Diddy out there because y'all freakazoids.
Hey, bro,
Freakazoids.
what's going on with everybody going on the freaks, man? What's
Yeah,
going
I
on with
said, man, y'all niggas
that?
is freakazoids, man. You seen the shit with Fat Joe?
No, what's going on
His
with
hype,
that?
they said his ex hype man just sued him and said Fat Joe made him have sex like 4,000 times, and Fat Joe had got a 16-year-old a BBL.
What?
Fat Joe had denied it, but I don't know, bro. It's like some freaky stuff in the water. There's some freaky stuff in the water going on out there in New York. Now, what I will say is, Diddy got it today or yesterday. Diddy got a lot of them charges dropped.
Really?
Yeah, he got
What?
he got the kidnapping. I think
I,
like the
I,
sex
I
trafficking. Like he
the
got a
la
couple of the charges dropped.
the last thing heard was that nobody wanted to like defend him. Like none of his like people that was working with him, like his what was it? His not what are they? His lawyer, their lawyers, like their lawyers, like they don't want to witness.
Like the co-defendants.
Right, yeah.
No, I mean at this point too, it's like um
You think Trump would pardon him?
for the right amount of money.
Really?
You have to think about it. You have to think about it. Trump is on his last term. He can't be president again. So Trump is on his last term.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going out with a fucking bang. He don't care,
Yeah, you
bro.
got a point. Yeah,
He
you're
running
right.
this shit like a reality show, bro. He got the Trump phone. He got the Trump card. He
Oh
got all
yeah.
these things coming out, bro. He don't give a fuck, bro. He doesn't care, bro. He run this shit like a reality show. So that's why I
Something
never
about that
got it.
phone though.
Bro, that's why I never got into politics. That's why I never
Uh-huh.
really got into politics because my dad always taught me one thing. No matter who's in office, you gotta wake up every morning and go get to it.
You got a point though,
You
because
see what I'm saying? Like
ain't
that's
nobody
why
gonna
I
do it for
never
you though. You know?
yeah, that's why I never got into politics. I never got into because it doesn't matter. Like whoever get in, bro, gets
Hmm.
in, and I have to face. I gotta deal with that on a daily. I can't just sit around and be like, oh man, this person in or that person in, so now my life is ruined. No, it doesn't work. Life doesn't work like that.
No, it really doesn't, man. We all gotta literally live and adapt. Because if you don't adapt, then you're like fucked at that point.
Exactly.
Because the world is always gonna continue to do its thing, like it or not, like it's just gonna keep on going. Um, no, yeah, that's crazy. But my thing is like, what's the worst that this dude is gonna get charged with, though? Is it really
So
gonna? Is it what? Like, is it the sexual assault? What?
I don't know, bro. I just was telling somebody today, like, man, listen. The only thing I really found out about Diddy in this trial is that he's a freaky gay guy.
He's a
That's
freaky gay
it.
guy.
He's a freaky gay guy, bro. That like I didn't see anything in terms of like
Something serious,
sex
right?
trafficking or like worth a RICO. Like, did I think that Diddy beat on his women? I said, yeah, it was possible. So the Cassie thing, if they want to charge him with that, like beating her ass back in the day, yeah,
You talking about the
that's
one
reasonable.
where they got him on the camera at the hotel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's that. That's cool. I get that. But everything else, it just sound like he's a fucking freak.
I mean, what they gonna do? Charge him for all that baby oil? Like, come on, like.
Yeah, like and Johnson, y'all ass should have drew some suspicion when this motherfucker was buying all this fucking baby oil. You fucking freak. What is wrong with these guys?
They're just no, America's just making it seem like you just can't be a freak nowadays. Like, oh god, it's just to me that this whole trial is just like a I don't know, it's like a distraction to me for some reason. Um, like like after all this time though, like no one wanted to say shit. Like
Come
they
on,
want to
bro.
get his ass. I like after all this time, like so. In other ways, it's like they're getting his ass for making like I guess orgies or whatever. Then, huh? Like,
Bro, I don't know, bro. It seems to me that I think they tried to humble Diddy a couple times,
Mhm.
the higher ups, and it wasn't working. And I think they were really, really humbling him now. Like,
But
listen, this is what can really happen. Stop playing with us. That's what I see. That's
but
what
but
I feel.
but who's the higher ups though? Who who could it be
They,
though?
it's always the they, over the
But
they.
yeah, I like they. I love how it's they, but like who's they though? That like you think he has something to do with like some politics shit? You think so?
It's always political. Remember Diddy? You remember Diddy was he was running super hard with the political shit. Remember a few years ago, I think for Obama last term. I think it was Obama last term.
Oh, I don't much remember it, but damn, okay.
So the voter die. He was doing the voter die. So
Oh yeah, I remember. That's how they did the South Park thing, the episode. Remember? You seen South Park?
yeah, he was doing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
voter.
Okay,
He
yeah. There
was
you go. Okay, yeah. You're right.
he
You're
was doing
right.
the voter. He was doing the voter die thing, bro. So
You're
you see what I'm
right.
saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's always political ties. It's always like see, bro. At a certain point of any time in your career, if you don't go to the politics gonna go to you. It
Oh
all
hell
it,
no.
it always works like that, bro.
Oh hell
Once
no.
you get to a certain level,
Uh-huh.
because once you get to a certain level of influence, they know that they can use you.
But here's the thing. I'm not like that though. I see. I'm not neither for the right side or the left side. I'm not.
No,
I'm
no,
not.
but listen. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't.
It's just like it's.
Sometimes too, though, people are forced to decide because if you don't, now you're vulnerable to both sides. Sometimes that shit offer a level of protection.
Mhm.
Sometimes they leave people alone, but a lot of times once you man, I'm not for this or that, you start getting blackballed. Your videos don't start getting recommended to as many people, bro. It's a crazy world, bro.
That's just fucked up at that point because like it to me is like I'm just like that person that is like it's just what makes sense. Like I'm not here like when it gets to like politics on the show or whatever. I'm not that person that takes shit up the ass because like I just can't. It's first it's I always see it as it's just your point of view, like your opinion. And that's it, man. I mean, like I just want to hear your thoughts. That's it, man. Like and sometimes on the show like I got people who go into it and some people are like, oh no, I don't want to get into it or whatever, and it's like it's cool, it's whatever, but like at the end I just always want everyone here to know is like it's just like I just want to hear you out, like.
Yeah, bro. I don't do the political thing, brother.
Nah, you good, my
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. I would say, bro, I don't do the political
so
thing.
so
You
then
know,
I'm not sure if what you think on the riots. about this whole riot thing in general. The whole this whole riots. I know there's right now going on a riot in LA and everything, but like in
Uh,
generalized, let's talk about here in generalized because there's been riots here in Chicago like during COVID, and then we had riots back then, in the 90s and everything. So I'm just like, let's just talk in general about riots,
I
man.
always say this. It'd be like right reason, wrong place. So it's like I never understood why we riot in our own neighborhoods.
Hmm.
So it's like so you're gonna riot and tear down the Walgreens near your block. So when that Walgreens pick up and leave, now Miss Jenkins got to take an extra two buses to go over here to this other Walgreens that they moved to get a medicine because we tore down our own block. That's the only thing I never understood.
You think
That's
it's a big call for action though,
um
or you think is it? Or yeah, let's go with that first.
I think that there are better ways. Take COVID for example, bro.
Hmm.
What happened once they realized everybody wasn't getting that shot, they bagged off. Remember all this? Oh, you're gonna lose your job. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. Once they realized a certain amount of people just not gonna get this shot, no matter what they say, they took all that shit back. If you put your foot down, if we put our foot down, bro, cause a lot more ruckus. Once the higher ups start losing a certain amount of control and money, they panic. It's not gonna come from rioting though. You know why it's not gonna come from rioting, bro? Because they know that if it ever came down to it, not as many people is gonna ride or stand up the way they should. So that's not going to work. But if you get everybody or a very large percentage of people to stop buying gas for one day, gas prices will drop like dramatically. No riot needed. No violence needed. Nobody got to get hurt. If everybody stopped buying gas for one day, it changed the whole landscape.
You think so? In one day? You think one day would take it
One day. That's all it
for
takes is one day.
you think it'll be a drastic drop?
What? What? Boy, shit was go crazy.
Really?
When you get an opportunity, look at what you see what happened with the boycotts in Target.
No, what happened with the boy in class in Target?
Bro, they organized the boycott in Target for whatever reason, for the
Hmm.
DEI stuff, but they organized the boycott in Target. That motherfucker been losing money since. They done had the dude that organized it, he's a pastor, a black pastor out of Atlanta, I believe, or
Hmm.
Georgia. Um, they've been reaching out to him, trying to do whatever they can, bro. They've been losing money like a motherfucker. Bro, COVID proved when we put our foot down, things happen.
Yeah,
How
for sure.
serious it was, bro. Oh man, we in a minute you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to get this to get on. You're gonna have to have your shot to get on the plane. You're gonna lose your job. A lot of them people, a lot of them people, bro, got their job back and got residual pay from the time that they lost when they got fired. Because, bro, when we put our foot down, bro, it's very powerful.
Yeah, no, that was wild times though.
It's crazy. It's a beautiful time
Definitely.
for me, boy. Beautiful time. Beautiful time.
I
Ooh,
mean,
beautiful time.
if it wasn't for COVID, I mean, this podcast would have not been made. But like, it's just been wild overall in general, though. I mean, shit. But like, going back to like the riots, man. I mean, like, what? why do we us humans have to go to that route? Like have to get to that point.
Because we fed, because they get fed up. They get fed up by, like I said, we need better organizers. Stop tearing up our own shit. Like, go to where, go to where you're being bothered. Like, for example,
Hmm.
I'm not for none of that. I just left the Capitol. I was right at the Capitol when I was in DC, checking it out. Beautiful. I'm not for riots. I'm not for what's the name. The one thing I will say about the whole January 6th with the people that rioted at the Capitol,
Hmm.
the only thing that I will say is this: they went directly to the people they had a problem with. That's it. I'm not saying it's right or I'm not saying it's wrong, but they went directly to the people that they have a problem with. They didn't. They weren't in their communities, their own communities. You don't have a problem in your own community with your community leaders or the local people or the paleta man that's walking down the street selling coins and elote. You don't got a problem with them, so don't tear none of that shit up. Go to the people that you have a direct problem with. That's it. That's it. That's for any riot. Period. I don't give a what riot is.
Hmm.
Go directly to the people you have a problem with. That's all. Cause I respect everybody, bro. I
Hmm.
respect everybody, bro.
Most
Love to the
definitely.
Latin, bro. Love to the Latinos. Love to the Latino community. My niece is half Mexican. I got a nephew that's part Puerto Rican. My prom date was Mexican. Me and my neighbors was the only two blacks on my block. Different level of respect. Shouts out to the Perez's that stayed behind me. Shouts out to everybody that stayed around me, Mr. Perez, Mr. Torres. Or shouts out to, bro, I grew up around all that flatas and
Hmm.
tortas and quesadillas and pico de gallo and
Hmm.
all, bro, love
Yeah.
it all. Like, for real, bro. And I hope so I don't got no problem with nobody. Everybody, you do what you gotta do. I just feel like some of this stuff it gotta be with everybody. We gotta be a little bit more organized and strategic about what we do. And truth be told, it doesn't take that.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
these motherfuckers can walk out on their jobs.
Oh yeah.
You want to see the power that we have? Walk out on these low level jobs that they give us. Just walk out. I know you need the money. I know it's what's the name. It's gonna be better times. But you walk out,
Because they need us at the end.
yeah, they need everybody.
Hey, everybody, yeah.
So
Because
you
at the
see,
end, ain't nobody gonna do that job.
yeah, bro. So I'm not, that's why I don't get into politics, bro, because I just
Hmm.
have feelings. I have feelings. I have views. I'm a human with my own views, brother.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking at red or blue. And then look at how they look at you still not understanding how they're wiring our brain. Red and blue. Most police, the police sirens be what? Red and
Red and
blue.
blue.
Crips and Bloods is what?
Red and blue.
GDs and Vice Lords is what?
What is it? Red and blue?
Red
No,
and blue.
yeah, red and blue.
All this shit's a game, my brother. Come on, bro. And they wiring your brain like that. All this shit's a game. Come on, man. That's why
It's
I stay.
wild.
That's why I stay away from it, bro.
You don't want to get stuck into the game, huh? Well, into that
No,
game.
no, man, listen, man, my dad.
Uh-huh.
My godfather Earl Harris, God rest his soul. He did politics for over 30 years. He was the state representative um for our city of East Chicago. So he would go down to Indianapolis and and lobby for the city.
Hmm.
And bro, um, you know. So my dad helped with his campaign, so I know a lot about politics. And like I said, that was the one thing that he always taught me, bro. And no matter who in that office, man, you gotta make sure you're doing what you're doing. So that's how I see this shit, brother.
Like based on like what you've seen when being with your pops and your uncle, like what like what else have they like taught you, or like what else did you see through that?
And it's dog eat dog. It's who you know. It's who hands you shake. It's who back you scratch. Just understanding the whole ecosystem of how relationships work. Very, very big, I would be in the car and, we going here, we going here, we going here. My dad shaking all these people hands. It's just,
Hmm.
I just understanding relationships. That's very big for me.
That's what's up. That's what's up, my guy. Hell yeah. No, yeah. I think we need to get a little deep into that real talk. 'Cause I think a lot of people need to hear what's been going on lately, my guy.
Oh, for
Um,
sure, man.
but hell yeah, I appreciate you on talking on this topic with me on this. Um,
For
but
sure.
yeah, we I think we all need to. It's understandable, we all have certain limits to like where I think if we're doing something like a peaceful protest or whatever, we feel like our voice hasn't been heard. I mean, this goes for everybody out there, who has done the riots or just in general, everybody, like if one feels like no one they haven't been heard, then yeah, you need to do a little something drastic to call for action. But I don't think, like you said, like tearing down our own community isn't gonna be resolving the
We
problems.
gotta stop tearing down our own community. Bro, I marched in Washington. I marched in Washington for
Hmm.
the George Floyd march that they had in what's the name at the Lincoln Memorial.
How was that?
It was beautiful. I mean, like million people, bro, just marching, peaceful,
Hmm.
out the way, and we went to the people that we felt we needed answers from. We wasn't in our communities. But I was a part of like 17 marches. I marched in Matson. I marched in Wisconsin. I marched in a few places, bro. All peaceful. All going directly to these legislation buildings, to these buildings, just trying to what's the name? And I'm going down there as a man. I'm not going down there as a politician. I went down there as a man.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's ways to go about it, bro. But yeah, man, that's my spiel on it.
Most definitely, my guy. Most definitely. I feel like one more last thing we would like to touch on before we wrap it up, my guys. It's on these sports and just in general fitness, my guy.
Okay.
Um, so I always like to ask all my stoners that do work out is like, do you smoke before you work out or after you work out?
Um, it all depends. I got like bronchitis, so I know when I'm finna run, I'm not
Hmm.
going to. But
Okay.
definitely like afterwards, like especially if I'm sore, like I'm gonna drop an edible. I'm gonna drop an edible off. Pop. What's the name? Calm me down.
Hmm.
Cause I don't like taking it. So definitely after for me.
Gotcha. That's what's up, my guy. Um, are you like on a diet or anything like that for your health or anything like that, or like you just kind of like just go
So
as you
so
go,
I
man?
so I do like so I did like my 10-day green smoothie challenge last week.
How was that?
Kind of ate a little bad in DC, but I'm trying to start this Monday coming up with a watermelon fast. So I just be doing watermelon all day, every day for like maybe like 20 days.
Really?
I drop a lot. You drop a lot of weight doing that because you're gonna drop it. There's so much water weight come off on top of all the running and everything. So water. I mean, watermelon is the second best form of hydration for you. So it's cucumbers, watermelon, then water. People didn't even know that. It's like you can get dehydrated from drinking too much water.
Really?
Yeah, bro, I found that out the hard
What
way.
the fuck?
Yeah, bro. I found that out the hard way, bro. Look it up when you get a chance, bro. You can get dehydrated. So I just went on a crazy just water binge, like 2 gallons a day. All of a sudden, bro, my mouth got dry and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Then my brother was like, bro, you drinking too much water. I said, that is the craziest thing I ever heard. But no, bro, so I'm doing a 10-day green smoothie challenge. I did that. I dropped
Mhm.
like 15 pounds. And then I'm gonna do like some watermelon fast, bro. Probably drop another 10, 15. And then just really go from there. But I was doing my running. I had to slow down on it because of this cell position I got. But I
Mhm.
was doing my no Ozempic, just Hood Olympics, baby.
Yeah, okay, that's what's up, man. Oh yeah. I feel like we all gotta stay a little healthy out here, man. 'Cause
Factual.
shit, it's it goes a long way, man. It changes your mood. You feel a little more happier, bro. You feel a little more alive. Like I've been low key slacking off on working out, but like shit, like yeah, I need to get back on it, man.
You grind and it get hard, dog. It get hard, brother. It
Yeah.
get hard. The things I tell people is like have a few different exercises. Have a few like full bodies, bro. You go to YouTube and find you like a 7-minute full body joint.
Mhm.
You could do like 3 rounds of it. So that'd be like 21 minutes. Where it's full body, squats, boom, boom, real quick, 5 to 6 exercises, 6 reps each. You know what I'm saying? Where you can get something in. Because when I'm in these hotels and I'm moving around like that, I'm lacking this, I'm lacking that. So I just ordered like two 20-pound dumbbells. I damn near could do everything with them.
Mhm.
Two 20-pound dumbbells, bro. And shit, even when I'm in the hotel, I'm able to rep it out, rep it out, rep it out.
Oh
So,
yeah. I think you just gotta find time, man, and time management for sure.
facts.
Um, but yeah, my guy, that's pretty dope, my guy. Nah, yeah, my guy. I mean, before we wrap it up, anything? Do you have anything else to say, my guy?
Man, bro, like I said, man, I want to congratulate you, dude, on hustling, on getting to it, bro. You know, it's not easy to interview people right on the spot and asking people questions and just trying to match their energy or their tempo in the moment, man. So, I really want to just say congratulations to you, bro. As always, shout out, Tickled Pink, Corner Boys, Emerald Gardens, everybody in the building, whether you a grower, the janitor, all the way up top to Rick Breezer, everybody that gave me this opportunity to do so, man. Shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to Illinois Cannabis. Everybody out there doing their thing, whether you craft grow, MSO, legacy, underground, whatever the case may be. Just know I really appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. Respect y'all for sure.
Yeah, appreciate you, my guy, again on coming out and vibing out here with me today. And yeah, no, that just wraps it up here, ladies and gents. This is Mike from Corner Boys.
Hey,
And
man.
it's yeah.
Anytime you want me on, man, just let me know.
Oh, hell yeah, most definitely. We need most definitely like a part two to this, bro. Hell yeah.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, other than that, ladies and gents, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's session. If you guys are still smoking on, to continue to smoke. This podcast is sponsored by Midwest Terps 420 Baby and our new sponsor, Vibes Papers. And yeah, we won't see you guys in the next episode or vlog. So take it easy out there, ladies and gents.